was looking at the map last night. We're actually pretty far from anything. Lots of mountains and snow between us and the trail back to the car.
I think this is the furthest that I've ever been away from a trailhead or civilization. The spirits are much higher than they were last night. Last night, I think if you took a poll, at least 2 out of 3 of us would have wanted to just stay here and die. I'm not excited to go climbing up snow-covered passes for the rest of the day, but it's the only way to get out of here. But it's a beautiful morning.
Yesterday, we had a little bit of a disagreement as to what we were going to do on the route. I was still sticking to my guns of finishing the more difficult route, and then the last 2 miles or so has kind of changed my mind. I'm not sure if I want to be walking over snow for the next 30 miles or something like that. Then we got to go over Knapsack Coal, wherever the hell that is.
They're back there planning the route, but I'd rather not know. That way, by not knowing, every painful step is a surprise.
Or go down and up, right?
We revised our plan for the day, and it hasn't made things any easier. We've decided to go with plan B, which is equally, if not harder, than plan A. And I'm going to predict right now that by the end of the day, the Blizz will be enraged. He'll have a blizzitude. We're going to take off here in a minute and head up this pass right behind me. One of many for the day.
Today's revised route is going to take us from the fortress over Indian Pass and to the Highline Trail, and hopefully to the Green River.
We are currently walking across a frozen lake on July 22nd. This is nice and easy, flat walking.
We're not talking about a couple of inches of snow or ice. It's like multiple feet of snow and ice in July.
I want to take a moment and say goodbye to last night's Valley of Despair. The valley that Blake said he would lay down and die in. Luckily, he didn't feel that way when we woke up this morning. But now that we're out, looks like we have more of the same. At least the scenes continue to amaze. When that goes, I'll know that it's time to go home.
First, I don't know, 10 miles of today are going to be pretty brutal, even in the direction we're going, but then it should drop us down into some trails that may be faster going.
Should probably talk a little bit about how me and Danny pulled democracy and crushed Aaron's dreams of a particular route he had. And we've always said from the beginning it's a democracy. So if 2 votes go for a certain way, you're done. That's it. Aaron wanted to do something that he had concocted at home, and we thought it was just more of the same thing, which it was, and it is. And I think we actually made a great choice.
I think so too.
Because look at how beautiful this place is.
Aaron's fishing.
I mean, Aaron's fishing, we're enjoying ourselves. We've made great time because we haven't been on glaciers. I think we all probably could have done his route, but it would have been
more of the same.
It would have been more of the same. Just giant freaking mountains and snow, and we were really getting sick of the snow.
From here on, I've been told that it's going to be all downhill. And we're going to camp about 7 miles or 5 miles away from where we are now. 4 miles from where we are now.
All downhill from here. Famous last words. About actually 3 miles out. Looks like it flattens out for a minute.
Well, I spoke too soon. We walked maybe a quarter mile, took a look down the way we were headed, and we changed our minds. Called an audible in the mountains. Pretty common for us. It's like the 5th one of the day. So now, instead of taking the longer 7-mile route, which we thought would be snow-free, we're gonna take the shorter route that's 4 miles and is guaranteed to have snow and a little bit more uphill. Gotta be flexible, you know, if you're into yoga or you're in the circus or if you like spending lots of time in the mountains. Flexibility is a requirement for all 3 of those things. For some reason, they saw this pond and they were possessed by some kind of spirit. So let's slide down into that.
I think I'm gonna slide down this, and I don't know what'll happen after I hit the water, but I'm imagining I'll be scrambling back up to get out of there as quick as possible.
We're going together?
Yeah, same
Best
time.
friends?
Yeah.
It's plenty cold for me. So glad we just did that.
Yeah, me too. It's cool.
That's cool. Was a very long day. We covered 26 miles, and when I think about where we started, it seems so impossibly far away that I almost can't wrap my head around it. But now we're at this semi-crappy campsite. I've got my tent laid out in a nice tree root strewn area, and in a couple of minutes I'm gonna attempt to go to sleep. But today was awesome all around, especially as the sun started to go down. We had this like frantic moment trying to get as much out of the sunset as we possibly could, trying to find a campsite before it got dark, which we failed to accomplish. I think it was around 10 o'clock when we got here.
So day 3 is in the books. Unfortunately, we sit here defeated because Danny talked us into going 26 miles instead of, what were we thinking, like 17 or something. And both Aaron and I said, no way we're running another 6 miles. And I think we ended up doing like another like 9. So Danny definitely won. I hate when he gets his way, but I think we'll be definitely happy when we wake up tomorrow and we only have, I don't know, maybe like 10 to 12 miles. This is definitely one of the coolest places I've ever been. And we're gonna end up getting our goal, which was about 80 miles over 4 days. So I'm definitely happy and call it a trip a success for sure.